here as the Oakland Raiders.
Like
in the Rose Bowl.
LA is the side piece to the Raiders franchise. If we're thinking about it, because they're the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. I don't give a fuck. I'll fight you for that. Like, they are the Oakland Raiders, like, of for the football team formerly known as the Oakland Raiders. That's what I'm going to call them. But
the West Coast Raiders.
Just retired and moved out of Oklahoma and got cheaper property in Las Vegas,
Pretty much.
You know, roll some backwheats over here. Make some hooch over there.
You gotta be excited for that stadium, though. No matter where.
No, I'm excited for
just imagine the first day you go there, you're gonna be like,
"Fuck yeah, man!"
A little
They weren't gonna get that. They weren't gonna get that in Oakland, built for them with $500 million in tax money.
I mean,
that was not gonna happen.
Significant upgrade from the Coliseum.
I can't believe that's where our tax money goes.
They voted for that.
They voted for it.
That's what they wanted.
They are
Vegas voted to pay for the whole shit.
Right.
St. Louis offered the Rams $400 million.
They offered the first
to stay.
So
think about that
and
stadium.
That
stadium, though, it will drive some revenue as far as Super Bowl, for any kind of timing event, for World Cup.
If we have events like that again.
First off, we're never having a World Cup in fucking Missouri. That's not happening. The Rams old stadium. That's just not. I'm sorry, St. Louis.
Cup? Isn't that baseball?
Nah, it's like. It's soccer. And then there's like the World Series. What is it? The World Series of. I forget what that shit's called. But they have like a World Baseball Classic.
Oh yeah, it's the cup. Yeah.
But it's weird because like all the Asian teams have like titles for their stuff. That sounds like it should be like an American title. But it works.
All right, Kenny. So Aaron Rodgers is on pace for 48 touchdown passes and almost 5,000 passing yards. He has no interceptions this year. You got to take your attention on that.
It's scary, and he's looking like the best version of himself. He's looking like what LeBron is looking like right now. Like he's just changing the way you age in the position. Shout out to Frank Gore.
Damn.
Like Aaron Rodgers, he only really played. What? He's 2005 to 2020, 15 years. He's only really played like 11.
Yeah.
And he came from a JUCO and went to Cal, so he doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires. And it's just like, with backup tight ends, Mercedes Lewis is in his 11th or 12th year in the league, and he had a hell of a catch against the Saints. Other than the Packers defense not tackling worth shit, that Kamara run was... Other than that Darren Sproles screen from years ago, that was one of the greatest screens I've ever seen in my life for a touchdown. And
Mercedes Lewis, the best wide receiver from UCLA.
He really is. He's the only one. He was an All-American too. That one year where UCLA won 11 games, but still got smacked by USC by 50 in the Collie. They beat Oklahoma though. That was the Boise State Oklahoma year. Except, I don't forget who UCLA played in their bowl game, but they got fucking wrecked. They wrecked Oklahoma, then got wrecked by USC. But UCLA's used to getting beat up. So, anyway, but Aaron Rodgers, it's scary because he could probably do this for another 5-6 years.
Yeah,
he's playing better than Brady ever played at his age. Because he still has physical ability and
he's been on that pace.
Bro, he actually has a running back. Who is an all-pro.
Yes.
And even though the receivers are a revolving door, you never know who you're going to take. And even with Devontae Adams hurt, that offensive line is finally put together and solid enough to where all you got to do is hand the ball off, and I'm going to call great plays at the right time and make good decisions for the offense to protect you. Because Mike McCarthy works for a young QB like Dak Prescott, but for an older vet, he's going to get your QB killed. Because he's made a lot of dumb decisions. But, yeah.
What's their defense like? Because it started off hot last year, and then it kind of tapered off. They have the
talent, but also there wasn't a lot of tackling. So a lot of guys are getting, soft tissue injuries. But, it's Lawrence Cager's hamstring popped, twice in the Jets game. All these guys getting hamstring injuries, knee injuries.
Shout out to Chris Carson, man.
Yeah,
his ligaments were not torn.
Tristan Hill's a bitch for that. And when you see somebody do that in a game, especially when it's not necessary, He should get packed out. In the
Especially a
locker room for
dude like Chris Carson, who's already been through a lot of injuries.
that. And he's a
really
guy
hard
you should
worker.
root for.
Yeah, he's a guy you root for sure.
Nah, I mean, how,
That was bitch made.
That was what, first year, second year player that did that. I mean, it's just not to justify it whatsoever.
He got
or
done
anything.
dirty at UCF by his coaches too.
Yeah, I mean that's straight up what it is. It's just dirty. It's just wrong. You get paid millions of dollars not to fucking be like that, you know? Or I mean, regardless, that was just cheap, and you hurt somebody. It's one thing because people get injured in the NFL, but it's another thing to be.
Yeah, he did the alligator death roll. Like normally, you're gonna run it back on the ground, and once he stops rolling, you don't need to roll your body over.
Yeah,
his fucking leg.
His circumference is a lot bigger than his. I mean, that guy was picked up off the floor and moved.
That's how you get your knee dislocated.
Yeah,
and that's how you get stabbed, and that's how you get shot at after the game. Like your family comes to the game. Like no, somebody in my family's coming for you because that was some bullshit. I don't like seeing bush league shit like that. Like I remember, when it comes to soccer, the last time I really saw some bush league shit, I think it was a BYU game. This chick just yanked this girl's hair down. Like it's like one of the most violent soccer games I've ever seen. Like she literally just grabbed a girl by the back of her hair and just fucking yanked it. I was like,
you want to hear something funny? That other girl's from the University of New Mexico. I have seen that video.
I was like, bro, how is she not in jail? I am afraid.
That girl's straight up like boot camp. That's Albuquerque, New Mexico, right there. Probably like Northeast Heights, like Sandia High School, but
he named all his own hoods.
Oh, I'm like, no, that's an angry white girl right there, man. I was just like, that was she.
And then her apology was angry. Her apology made me feel like I'm gonna get beat up. Like,
oh, dude.
When Stewie, when Brian owed Stewie all that money and he was a bodybuilder, where's my money, man? Just kept beating his ass. I was like, yo, I'm scared of this chick. I don't even know her. And I was like a kid when this shit happened. But that instance reminds me of what he did. It's just like. And Dellavedova, whatever his name was, when he played for Cleveland, he kept diving into people's fucking legs. I was like, in basketball, that shit don't happen. And if you dive into my leg and dislocate my knee, again, guns are coming out after the game. You can't do that at the park. Someone's going to kill you.
The guns come out.
Kids see guns at the basketball game.
That's the 50 Cent. You don't know that. You don't know about that, bro. Massacre.
That was just. There was no context behind that.
Whatever. All right, man. Time for touchdown and turnover.
And why is it nobody thinks of the Massacre as the first 50 Cent album you bring up? Why would you bring up? It was
just a relevant reference. I'm sorry.
You brought up the second one. I wanted to hear more, but you stopped at just that.
Well, it's inappropriate to say on the air. Anyways,
aren't we
start with this one.
Go ahead.
This one's straight for you, Kenny. The XFL plans to restart in 2022. Is that a touchdown or is that a turnover?
That's a touchdown. They probably got to figure out the logistics and how they're going to perfectly relaunch to kind of see, like, okay, here's what worked in our window. Maybe we could start, like, after the Senior Bowl and all that stuff. But, yeah, I can see how they just need a whole year to kind of... the first year to figure out the financials.
Like another 5, bro.
No, like, realistically, if they have a plan and they already have the money, it'll work. It was working. Just the pandemic happened.
Yeah, but it's hard when you start something.
Gaps, I would think.
I think they should end before the NFL draft, though, because
it's hard. It's hard when you start something, though, and then... don't finish it all the way through and then try to start it again brand new because you didn't complete all your hypotheses.
It's a totally different brain trust.
Everything exactly. So yeah. So they're starting from pretty much the ground again.
Well, they had things that were working too. I mean, it was entertaining. The extra point rules were, that some people hate it, some people like it. It's different. But then also being.
But what I'm saying is, you're not going to get that momentum anymore from that.
It might be harder.
You're not going to get those same gimmicks, though. You're going to have to find new things to surprise us with and catch our attention versus building on what was already the plan, right? So the plan got messed up and now you're starting from the ground. So I don't know.
I get that.
I could see it taking a few more years. Honestly,
I like it though when
2022.
the reporter's right there, right after like an interception or something, like they're asking questions on the fly, and the guy's like, "Just get the fuck away from me right now!" Like,
Hey,
that's
so
pretty
you just
cool.
missed a 15-yard extra point. You played in the NFL. What happened? Why you suck so bad? You just threw 3 interceptions, bro. What's wrong with you? Are you okay?
That's what you guys want to do, right?
They should
Yeah.
have just had me as a petty ass sideline announcer. I'd have made that shit hell entertaining. Hey,
They're
bro,
like,
is
who's
this why you didn't get
they're like,
drafted in
who's this-
college?
They're gonna be like, "Who's this budget Booger McFarland, bro?" This guy, fuck out here.
That hurt. That hurt a little bit. I want you to know that hurt a little bit. So when I come back and get you, just remember this. Remember this moment. That was fucked up. Budget Booger McFarland. I thought about that sweater vest I wore that one time. I was like,
Hey, let me ask you this about that with the XFL restarting. Do you think you'll be bigger? Do you think there'll be more possibility of more teams? I
'Cause
mean, it's
The
in
Rock-
2 years. The Rock, more money, maybe a little more.
I think him and
I mean,
Vince
they
probably have
could.
something to do.
They could probably get more TV deals because they were making money off of it. And,
I mean,
and it's The
good.
Rock.
yeah,
And it's like he's box office. And even though that's his ex-wife and he helped, like, she was already like an investment banker and all that. She's working at a bank before they got divorced. And he helped. He didn't leave her behind. Like, he's continued to put her up on game, and she's continued to grow and progress. And they seem like a really good team. And you know, like, we're family oriented. Brought that money. Then also all the aspects of who The Rock is. Like, it looks better with his name on it than Vince McMahon's.
it's like, have you seen an action movie? That guy.
His Q rating is just insanely high. Like, people trust The Rock. They trust his face. They trust everything about him. So
I mean, yeah,
they
I
have
agree, but-
like the patience of the media on their side. Arguably, like, they're not coming in with an empty cupboard. But yeah, we got to see how they're going to handle things. And also, that's why I think college football going back to whatever college football
Well,
ends
the
up
other
becoming.
thing that's gonna make it hard is with this COVID thing. You're gonna have a lot more
We don't even know what the future of that is.
facilities. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna need to have more tests that cost money, like, you know, more medical staff.
I think there'll be
more
a baseline.
insurance.
Don't you think there'll be a
For a lot
base-
of these players, and you know, you follow some of them, you saw it. Like, a lot of them were talking about the issues with insurance playing these spring leagues. It's even worse than the NFL, which the NFL is bad in itself. So
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot of risk, but you know, it's a chance to live your dream, and it's a chance to provide entertainment to people and your community. So
But I don't look
you
at
can
it
take
as
going either way, and
I
it's
don't-
entertainment, like you said, with The Rock, it's Hollywood.
like, so they're either going to put a bunch of money behind the product or like the production and pre-show stuff.
It's a blocked field goal scored for 2 points the other way.
So it's an Eric Berry pick 6 in his hometown against the Falcons,
Something like
and
that.
they won that game.
Something like that, yeah.
Eric Berry should still be playing, but I understand why he's not. But yeah, I just think
I mean, I'd rather
It's gonna be
retire than be. I was gonna say something slanderous.
yeah. So watch your fucking mouth.
I
Don't
was gonna
say
say
it,
than be Bob Sanders at the Chargers.
bro. I'll whoop your ass. Like, don't ever say that. Bob Sanders on the Chargers.
Those last few years.
I don't even remember. That's how I choose to respect him as a man and as a player. I don't acknowledge whatever team he went to after he got cut. I just play with him in Madden sometimes on the old
Eric Weddle with
PS2.
the Rams.
He wasn't that bad. He wasn't a problem. Marcus Joyner was. Don't you forget it.
Brian Dawkins on the
He was
on the
a Pro Bowl.
Broncos.
He was a Pro Bowler for a
on the
couple years.
Broncos.
Nah, I think you could name like somebody else.
All right.
Nice try though, but yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Antoine Bethea last year. Did you know he was playing?
That's
Did
actually
you know
fair.
he was playing?
Yeah, that's fair. That's actually quite fair. I think he's on the Niners or the Deadskins or the what the fuck.
He might have been on both, honestly.
He has been on both. That's why I just don't know what it is this year or this week. But I think football in general, like in 2022, there's going to be a baseline for like Canadian football. Eventually, cut their league off. If you can see what they're doing, and then you see what they're doing here, by 2022, I think just the way we view sports and how they test might be